Well, hey everybody, this is Robert from Black Belt Gaming. Welcome back to the Samurai Spirit. I am heading into round 2 of this solo playthrough, and let's see if we can survive another round. The difficulty has been raised just a little bit with the addition of some lieutenants, so let's see if we can do this. Alright, here's a bird's eye view of our village. The villages are all alive. One of the the homes has been burned down. We currently have 5 barricades up, and the first plunderer arrives, and it is already one of the lieutenants. He makes his way into the village, and we'll go ahead and start with Gorobe again. He's going to be the first samurai to be defending the village, and why don't we go ahead and protect the villagers against this guy. So he's going to call this guy out and engage him one-on-one to keep the villagers safe. That will end his turn. Alright, Kanbei is next. Let's see who he's going to battle. He's going to battle this guy. Once again, we've got a chance to go with a protecting the houses here, protecting the farmhouses. And let's see, this guy is odd, so our fighter could ignore this penalty. Maybe let's, what do we see? I'm just trying to get an idea on the count here. I'm not exactly sure how many of which value are in the deck. That's part of the surprise of the game. For example, I don't know how many 1s or how many 2s or 3s are in there. They were randomly drawn from the stack. To fight or not to fight? I think I want to make sure I get all the defense cards up and placed. So we're going to put him over there. Maybe Kanbei cuts this guy down as he's trying to set fire to one of the houses. Alright, the big man, Gorobe, is next. Looks like he's fighting the twin brother here of the guy on the other side. We've already got the villagers defended, so we need to fight this guy. And it looks like you can't use, or what is it, you can't use your support token or something like that. We're going to fight this guy. We're just going to place him over here to the right of the fight track or the battle track and move that down 3 points. And since that is an odd number, we don't get to ignore that. So we're going to have to deal with that penalty. And if I remember, something like you don't get to receive a support token. Or something, let's see. During his turn, the player may not place raider cards to the left of his samurai board. That's different than what I thought. Okay, so that's a shield. And it's, basically a no defending penalty. So we can't put anybody over here until we get this guy covered up or taken out in some way. Alright, makes sense. Back to samurai number 2. And he's got this rather weak thug here coming in. We need to protect the villagers, definitely, so we'll put him there. Just a brief word on that. I didn't check this before I played, but evidently, if you don't have enough of these Protect the Villagers cards drawn in your stack, and let's say you're playing a 3-player game, and none of you have defended the villagers because there weren't enough cards doing that, that could be a 1-round loss. So I think I read somewhere, maybe on Board Game Geek, that just make sure that you've got enough villagers in your deck to manage that problem so that you're not just an instant loss. I did not check that before I played and set up this game, but I played the last round and it was not a problem, so my deck should be good to go. I'm guessing that's a rare problem that comes up, but seems like it can. So just something to be aware of. Alright, we're back to Gorobe, and we need to check here. We can't do any defense cards right now. Our next, we got another thug coming in. And you see, we could put that with the house, but we can't due to that penalty. So we've got to put him over here. That's going to take us to a total of 4. His penalty, that was the one where you couldn't share your defense token or your, is it defense token? You couldn't share your special ability token here with others. So that will be his penalty. Next, we're going to go back immediately to Kanbei. And we got the big guy here. Nothing to defend, so he's got to go over here. It looks like this same guy is going to pound on Kanbei again, because we're going to get that wound the next time we come around. So we are hanging in there. We'll take it back, just like a tennis match here in this 2-player game, to Gorobe. And let's see, checking penalties. Okay, no. Let me make sure I've got the little icons right here as far as what penalty is what. That one was right here. And you may not carry out the support action. Okay. We've got... Ooh, these guys are coming in pairs. We've already got the villagers defended. So we're going to add this guy. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to take us all the way down to 8. And I believe we are lucky because this is an even number. And Gorobe here can ignore the penalties for even numbered villains. But I think normally what we would do is we would have to pass off some bad guys to our friend over there beside us, so we get to ignore that next turn. Back to Kanbei. We're drawing for him. We do have a penalty. We do have a penalty, and he can't ignore it, so he gets into a big fight with this guy. This guy snatches his swords away and maybe twists his arm, causing an injury. So Kanbei is getting hurt. He then has another thug come right at him. Let's use the defense option and protect the... what was it? I think it's protect the farmlands, or is it protect the barricades? I can't remember. We're going to keep protecting the village. So we've got all that taken care of. Back over here to Gorobe. Gorobe is, he's going to ignore this penalty. And I think we definitely need to get some defense cards. I hope we're going to draw something that's going to help us out. Ouch, we got another lieutenant here. This is bad news, because this is going to put us in a situation where we are basically overwhelmed. I'm not exactly sure of what the term is. Let's find this out. This is the first time it's happened. All right, we're taking this step by step. There's little examples here of how to move this down on your battle track, and it says in the case number 3, if the total is greater than your ki value, and it is, you are overcome by the raiders, and you need to immediately remove one of the village barricades. So it looks like this is going to be our first barricade loss. So we're going to remove one of these. It's been smashed. Let's see if anything else happens. Alright, well, Gorobe is so busy taking on these 2 lieutenants that we need to turn his meeple on its side. And this basically is going to make him inactive for the rest of this round, which is bad news. He is not going to be able to... He's basically like he's out of the game for the rest of this round. So he can't do anything, but fortunately he doesn't continue to suffer penalties. So we'll look into this a little further when we come back to his turn, but evidently what he has to do is pass on his turn. Alright, I was just taking a quick look at some of these other support tokens and how they might be used. I don't think we need to do one yet. If I were to try to use one of these support tokens, I would choose it right now, right at the very beginning of his turn, before we even apply the penalty. So since I'm going to skip that for the moment, because we've still got some wiggle room here on our battle track, and we need to keep getting these cards out of the deck, we're going to suffer this penalty again and take another wound. So what we do here when we take our second wound is Kanbei changes into his animal form, a wild boar. And we put this back, I believe, back on the proper number. I think that's right. Let me double check the rules and make sure. What we've noticed here is we're a little bit stronger now. Instead of our meter ending at, what was it, 9, we can go all the way to 12 now. So we have picked up some strength. Let's see if anything else happens when he changes into the animal form. The only thing I saw, other than having a better battle ability over here, is that if we do hit our Ki ability, it's going to be a little stronger. So we have freed our animal spirit, and this wild boar comes out and is taking on these plunderers now. So let's keep the battle going. We already took our second wound that transformed us. We've got a 3. This is not bad because we can ignore the penalties for odd numbers. So that will stop us from getting wounded by the big thug there. It takes us all the way to 7. Now, let's see if anything happens with Gorobe. It just simply says you have to pass. For the rest of the round, you are treated as though you are no longer in the game. You don't receive cards, you can't get rid of any cards, and you no longer suffer the penalty from the last raider in the combat line. So I think we just skip Gorobe altogether. And I was wondering before if I used one of these support tokens to say, you know, one of these, and I was trying to pass an even numbered bad guy over to my partner, he can't receive cards. So both of those support tokens just aren't going to help right now. So we're back over here. Let's keep going. Kanbei does not receive this penalty because it is an odd numbered bad guy. So we're going to draw another one and keep up the fight. Actually, I was thinking about perhaps, I don't know if it's wise or not, but perhaps using this support token at the beginning of my turn. It comes from another samurai that we're not currently using in the game, but it basically allows you to use the fight action twice. So it lets you draw a card and then draw another card, I believe. So I don't really know if that matters right now, because it's going to keep being Kanbei's turn anyway. But it would allow us, if we drew a bad one over here, to cover it up, perhaps with another card. So, just out of curiosity, why don't we try this? We're going to use this support token. We're allowed to use it once per game. We draw the card. It's a 1. We didn't really need to do that, but we'll put him down, take him up to 8, and then we're allowed to fight again. And it's another 1. So we'll put that down, take us up to 9. These are odd numbers, so we're not going to suffer any penalties. So this token just disappears. We keep going. Remember, Gorobe is basically all tied up fighting the lieutenants. We're going to suffer some penalties here. at the end of the round, assuming that Kanbei can hang in here and survive the rest of this round. Next baddie is another one. We're counting down closer. Going again. We're almost there. 2 more. This is perfect. This works out just right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's our Ki power. We look down here to see what our Ki power is, and it allows us to move any infiltrators, I think, to the discard pile. And I think in our boar form, I think that is powered up just a little bit. It says he takes normally the top 2 cards, but in his boar form it would be 3 cards. So that's good. Even the graphic changed on this side of the board. Ki. We're going to Ki, and I think that allows us, I believe that allows us to remove the top card and put that in the graveyard over there. And we move everybody up the track. And that's going to help some. That's going to reduce this by 4 points, taking us back to 8, giving him some more wiggle room here to continue his battle. And this is a pretty good thing because we only have 1 more. No, we got 2 more in there. Let's see if there's anything else we need to do. If we're starting a new turn, this is an even number. We do have a penalty down here, but that's just support token stuff. So I don't think we need to worry about it. Let's draw the next villain. Ouch! It's a big fella at a 4. Well, we just Ki'd again. We had a perfect match again. Allowed us to Ki 1 more time. That's going to let us take the top guy off, which is a value of 3. We'll count this back to a 9. We head into the last turn, and it looks like the penalty here would be to draw and pass one of the bad guys to Gorobei, but we can't because Gorobei is overcome. So I think we just have to, I guess, ignore that penalty and take this next one, which is a 2. Wow, this is good. Good. Boom, boom. Takes us to 11. We've done it. We have thinned out the stack. So we've survived another round, but there's still some more end of round penalties and bonuses that we need to take care of. Alright, here we go. Let's take them one at a time. End of the round. Each samurai who has not placed a card with the hat symbol on his defense side sustains a wound. Kanbei is alright. Gorobei takes his first wound, I think. I don't think he's been wounded yet in the game. Next, each samurai who has not placed any card with the farm symbol removes a farmstead on the village. And if you're playing on the hard or heroic level of difficulty, you get another penalty of some sort. So it looks like we've lost 1 house. Kanbei successfully defended the others. So let's say if we were playing the harder game, what would happen? Gorobei here would take yet another wound. So thankfully we're not playing on that level of difficulty. Every samurai who does not have a card with the family symbol on his defense side removes a random family token from the village. Fortunately, we've protected the villagers. That's the one that, because there's only 3 tokens, that's the one that can end the game pretty quickly if you don't have those taken care of. So, we reveal the cards one by one from the intruder stack, and fortunately we don't have any intruders because they would be trying to burn down the different barricades. And then I think we get a little bonus from the villagers, don't we? you get the corresponding bonus for each villager that you protected. So here's one. We get to remove an infiltrator. I think we get to build back a barricade. And then I think somebody heals, don't they? Very good. We get to heal 1 damage, and we're going to heal that off of Gorobe. Or, I don't know. I think he's going to flip over after this turn. Well, I'm going to put this back on and get that answer. Does he flip back and heal 1, or does he stay in his animal form? So I could either heal him back over to his other side. That'd be a weird situation. Wouldn't he have a wound on him? Let me check that. I found one little mistake I was making with the barricades. When you get this bonus here, you can't have more barricades than you had at the beginning of the game. And the difficulty level we chose was normal. And the barricades there are the number of players plus 2. So we should only have 4 barricades. So let me take that back off. I think we would have been down to 3 and then gone back up to 4 in this round. Alright, I think I found my answer here. It says, once again in tiny text down here, that the advantage or the gift you get from the villagers is to remove a wound token. And that could be Gorobe here. I wondered if I could do that with Kanbei, if I could turn him back over to his human side and then put a wound token on him. But you can't. It does specifically say you need to remove a wound token on your character card. So I guess if neither one of them had a token on them, that wouldn't do anything. And then about the animal form, it says once that animal spirit has been awakened, it cannot be tamed until there are no enemies left standing. So Kanbei here is enraged and in his animal form, and he's going to stay that way. So let's gather up these cards, and I think the next thing we need to do is to add 2 more bad guys. These will be bosses. So I'll just randomly draw 2 of these 6s and put them in here. That's going to be our stack for this next round. We're going to shuffle these tokens and put them back on the village. And I think the support tokens, I don't think they reset. I think I was able to use them once per game. And there we have it. We'll reset our battle tracks to 0. And we'll shuffle our deck here and reset it and get started for the next round.